There is a clock greater than time, a rhythm that is not found in seconds or minutes, but in moments ordained before the foundations of the world. You see time ticking by, wondering when the answer will come, when the door will open, when the silence will break. But in the unseen realm, there is no delay. There is only alignment. You cry out, "Why not now?" You ache under the weight of delay, of prayers that seem unheard, but God is never late, and He is never early. He is always right on time, not your time, but His. And His time is perfect because His vision is eternal. He sees what you cannot. He knows what you do not, and He weaves all things together, not in haste, not in panic, but in purpose. There is something deeply freeing when one realizes that the Creator of all time is not bound by it. What seems like delay to human eyes is never delay to the one who exists outside of clocks and calendars. When nothing seems to be happening, when prayers seem to echo without answer, when doors remain closed long after you've knocked, these moments test the heart. But it is in these very seasons that the truth begins to shine. God is never late, and He is never early. He arrives with purpose, with intention, with perfection. Every moment of your life is seen and known. Every second is measured not in your impatience, but in His wisdom. So often the mind races ahead, attempting to write its own schedule. You make plans, you set timelines, you build expectations, and when things don't align with those plans, frustration sets in. You wonder where God is or if He's even listening. But what if the apparent delay is not absence, but alignment? What if what you're waiting for is being refined so that when it comes, it will be better than what you expected? God's timing is not about meeting your calendar. It's about fulfilling His greater purpose. And when that purpose unfolds, it will not be a moment too soon or a moment too late. Consider how nature flows in season. The farmer does not harvest before the seed matures. The flower does not bloom in winter. Everything has its appointed time. And if forced outside of that time, the result is damage, not blessing. In the same way, your life follows a divine rhythm. Pushing ahead of it can lead to missed preparation. Lagging behind can cause missed opportunity. But trusting in that rhythm, even when it feels slow, creates peace in the soul. Because peace is not found in how fast things happen, but in knowing they are happening as they should. In your own journey, there may be dreams unfulfilled, promises yet to be seen, and questions still hanging in silence. But that silence is not a void. It is a holy space where God is working. He is not idle. He is not unsure. He is moving in ways unseen, preparing not just your answer, but preparing you to receive it. Because it's not only about what you get, it's about who you become in the process. When the answer comes, when the door opens, when the promise is fulfilled, you will look back and see it clearly. The timing wasn't just good, it was flawless. And all along, He was guiding each moment, aligning each step, and loving you through every second of the wait. So hold on, not with fear, but with confidence, because what's coming is not late, it's right on time. Waiting can feel like wandering through a silent desert where time slows down and the heart longs for answers that don't come. It is one of the most difficult places to be, caught between the promise and its fulfillment, holding on to hope while seeing no signs of change. Yet what appears to be a delay is not a waste. It is, in fact, a divine process of preparation. During the waiting, something deeper is being developed, something that cannot be rushed. It's not just about waiting for something to happen. It's about who you become while you wait. When a seed is planted, it doesn't sprout overnight. It needs darkness, depth, time, and care. The roots must grow before the plant breaks the surface. In the same way, when you are waiting for a dream, a breakthrough, or a promise, there is work being done in the unseen. You may not realize it, but strength is growing in your spirit. Your character is being shaped. Your faith is being stretched. The soil of your life is being readied for what is to come. If the answer arrived too soon, you might not be ready to receive it, or it might not last. Timing matters not just for arrival, but for endurance. So much happens in silence. The world only sees what breaks through, but heaven works in hidden places. While you wait, things are shifting behind the scenes. Relationships are being prepared. Opportunities are aligning. Even your obstacles are being moved. Sometimes the delay is protection, sparing you from something you didn't know was harmful. Other times it's growth, giving you time to become strong enough to carry what is coming. Either way, the waiting is not idle time. It is active preparation even when you don't feel it. There's a sacredness in the pause between promise and fulfillment. In that space, your dependence deepens. You stop relying on your own timing and begin to trust something greater. You learn to listen more closely, to walk by faith instead of sight, and to surrender control. That surrender becomes your strength. It is in waiting that humility grows, pride is stripped away, and a quiet confidence is born. Not confidence in outcomes, but in the one who controls them. When the waiting ends and the answer comes, it often happens suddenly, but it was never sudden. It was the result of everything that happened in the unseen. The years of prayer, the quiet obedience, the tears nobody saw, all of it mattered. All of it was preparing you not just to receive the blessing, but to steward it well. And when it comes, you'll understand. The wait wasn't a punishment. It was a gift, because the waiting didn't just change your circumstances, it changed you. Throughout Scripture, some of the greatest promises came only after long seasons of delay. The pattern is clear. Destiny is often preceded by waiting. And that waiting isn't empty. It's a powerful time where character is formed, trust is tested, and dependence is deepened. Look at the lives of those who walked this path before us, men and women who received a promise but had to wait for it to come to pass. It wasn't because the promise had changed or failed, but because the timing had not yet reached its fullness. There is something sacred about this space between the word and its fulfillment. Consider Abraham, who was promised descendants as numerous as the stars, yet walked years of childlessness. It was in that space that he learned what it meant to trust beyond what he could see. Joseph was given dreams of leadership and greatness, but his journey led through betrayal, slavery, and prison. Those years were not wasted. They prepared him to lead with wisdom and compassion when the time finally came. David was anointed to be king as a shepherd boy, but he didn't take the throne until much later. The battles he fought, the caves he hid in, the relationships he navigated, all of it molded him into the king he was destined to be. These stories are not just historical, they are templates for today. They show that when a promise is delayed, it's not being denied. Instead, God is using the delay to build endurance, faith, and maturity. In fact, the bigger the promise, the deeper the preparation. This is not punishment, this is process. The weight of what is coming requires strength, and that strength is developed in silence, in the unseen, and in the waiting. The delay often reveals our heart. It exposes whether we want the promise more than the one who gave it. It challenges us to worship in the quiet, to trust without evidence, and to believe when the world gives us every reason to doubt. That refining is critical. Without it, we may mishandle the blessing or step into it prematurely, unprepared for its responsibility. But with it, we emerge shaped, purified, and ready. The beauty is that God's promises are not fragile. They do not expire because of time. They do not fade in the face of delay. They wait until the appointed moment. And when that moment comes, it often arrives suddenly. What took years to prepare may unfold in a single day, but that single day would never have come without the faithfulness developed over time. So if you are in a season of waiting, take heart. You are in the company of kings, prophets, and dreamers. The waiting does not disqualify you. It prepares you. Your story is not on pause. It is being written with precision. And when the promise comes, it will not be random. It will be right. It will be ready, and so will you. There is a kind of peace that goes beyond understanding, and it's found in trusting a plan you cannot see. When everything around you feels uncertain, when prayers seem unanswered, when progress is slow, when doors remain closed, it's tempting to question if anything is happening at all. But peace doesn't come from knowing all the details. It comes from knowing who holds them. Trusting in perfect timing allows you to live without panic, without the need to force outcomes, and without constantly checking the clock of your life. It anchors you in patience, steadiness, and confidence, not because you have control, but because you know there is purpose behind every delay. Too often people chase answers with anxiety, pushing and pulling at every opportunity, believing that if they don't act fast, everything will fall apart. But this kind of striving only leads to exhaustion. It wears down the spirit and clouds the heart. On the other hand, when you choose to believe that timing is being handled by something far greater than your own effort, you're released from the burden of having to make everything happen. You stop forcing closed doors to open. You stop clinging to expired seasons. You begin to breathe, to listen, to move with intention rather than desperation. Peace isn't passive. It's active trust. It means continuing to show up even when you don't see progress. It means praying without visible results and still believing something is shifting behind the scenes. It means resting, not because you've given up, but because you've given it over. You no longer walk in fear of missing your moment because you know your moment will come to you when it's supposed to. You know that what is meant for you cannot be lost when your life is in the hands of perfect timing. This mindset also changes how you see setbacks. What once looked like failure now looks like redirection. What once felt like rejection now feels like protection. When you trust in the timing, you understand that not everything you want right now is what you need right now. You begin to welcome the process instead of resisting it. You stop measuring your worth by how fast things happen. Instead, you find your value in who you're becoming while you wait. And when the timing finally aligns, when the moment arrives and the door opens, it's more than just a victory. It's a confirmation. It's the reward of waiting in peace rather than anxiety, of trusting instead of forcing. That peace becomes your strength. It carries you through delays, through doubts, through dry seasons, and it keeps you rooted when things finally begin to move. So rest in that truth. You don't need to rush. You don't need to chase. What's for you will find you, not in chaos, but in peace. Because when you walk with trust in perfect timing, you carry calm into every step of your journey, knowing you are exactly where you're meant to be right now. The journey of life rarely unfolds the way we expect, but it always unfolds the way it is meant to. Though delays may test our faith and silence may stretch our patience, the truth remains unshaken. God's timing is always perfect. What feels like a pause is often a preparation. What seems like a setback may be the setup for something greater, and what appears hidden is being carefully shaped to arrive at the exact moment it is destined to. So release the need to understand every detail. Let go of the pressure to control every outcome. Trust that every moment, seen and unseen, felt and unfelt, is being orchestrated with purpose. You are not behind. You have not missed it. You are right on schedule with the one who sees the beginning, the end, and everything in between. Be still. Be faithful. Keep moving forward. The answer is coming. The door will open. And when it does, it will not be early. It will not be late. It will be perfect.